Hi, I'm Barbara Rimkunis, and this is your Exeter History Minute. Parking in Exeter's downtown business district has been a thorny issue ever since cars became our primary means of transportation. The problem became most acute after the end of World War II, when there were more cars everywhere. Perhaps the solution might be parking meters. In New Hampshire, the very idea of parking meters was legally questioned. After all, the parking fee and possible fines could be viewed as a form of taxation. The constitutionality went as far as the New Hampshire Supreme Court, and it took an act of the legislature in 1947 to allow local police commissions to have the authority to install parking meters. Exeter's town selectmen approved the plan in the spring of 1949. Meters were placed along Water Street from Great Bridge to Swayze Parkway on the riverside, and from Clifford to Center Street on the opposite side. They then extended along Center Street and Front Street around the square. The installation was speedy, too speedy for many townsfolk. The newspaper reported that tempers were ruffled in a few instances where residents and businessmen discovered meters being arbitrarily set up a uniform distance apart without regard to location. Sometimes they were right in front of a private home, and both the Catholic and Congregational churches weren't wild about having them right in front of their entrances. But once they were installed, they weren't moved. Exeter's 250 meters cost $65 each, a very large outlay for the town. The bill was paid in installments to the McGee-Hale Parkometer Company based in Oklahoma City, the only company that made parking meters at the time. Exeter drivers paid 1 cent for 12 minutes of parking and 5 cents for an hour. Fines were set at 50 cents. Many of the meters replaced the old granite hitching posts that once dotted the downtown. Most of the hitching posts were moved to other parts of town, and you can still see them in front of many homes. The parking meters were considered a financial boon after just a few years. They paid for themselves and the parking patrolmen who cared for them, and usually brought in some revenue for the town. And so they stood for 23 years, loved and hated. By the 1970s, shopping changed. Supermarkets on Portsmouth Avenue offered one-stop shopping and free parking. Fewer people needed to park on Water Street, and income from the meters no longer covered costs. By 1973, 25% of the meters weren't even working. In April of that year, after a trial period lifting all parking restrictions, it was decided to take them out. They were gone before winter, something the town's snow removal team was glad about. They'd always despised having to avoid knocking them over. The era of the parking meter had come to an end. For more Exeter history, check our website at www.exeterhistory.org.